Well, I found out, and I planned this from before too. Was thinking about shooting it without a bipod, but I decided that's pretty much a must-have accessory for the 50 BMG. This is the SHTF 50 by Safety Harbor. It's got a 26. They come in a 26-inch upper. You can use it for upper for the AR platform, or you can use their receiver. But if you have your AR, you don't have to buy another weapon. That's what's cool about this. So you can buy the upper 26-inch barrel, a 22-inch barrel, and an 18-inch barrel. You know, some really remarked this is a short barrel, but this is a 22-inch barrel. It's actually right in the middle. I'm sure, you know, well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to load them on, when I reload these, they're going to be loaded on the starting load. I'm probably going to leave them on a starting load, because whatever the hell, you know, I'm not going to get a little worried about pinpoint ridiculous accuracy, because I'm not sure, you know, I'm not going to be able to fire this 1,000 yards anyway. But I always figured if you wanted something that is like the ultimate big game rifle that's bigger than a freaking 30-06, might as well just go for this, right? I mean, this is simple. Simon Says. You got a 5-round magazine. This has, now I have the iron sights on it. These are flip down iron sights. You see they flip up like this. This bipod will fold back. You push down over here, and this falls into the other position back, which could be pretty good because it could be a little bit better to hold it. I would not try to fire this offhand, but some people have. I think the semi-automatic Barrett might be a little bit better choice to try to fire like from the offhand, the bolt action, because you're going to have to operate. Now there's no bullet, there's no rounds in this magazine or nothing. You're going to have to operate this bolt, and this weapon is not light. You know, it's pretty heavy. It's pretty front heavy too. So you got hardly any weight in the back with the buttstock. This is an A1 buttstock, a little shorter length. Reason is I'm going to put a recoil pad on it. I'm actually getting the airsoft recoil pad. Supposedly reduces recoil, felt recoil to the shoulder about 70%. But considering this is several times more than a 30-06, reducing your recoil by 70% means that you're still going to have at least 2 or 3 times what a 30-06 is. It's not going to be slouched, you know, even no matter how light you even load the rounds. But this is something I'm actually going to get into reloading for. And, you know, I know a lot of people sometimes, you know, not a lot of people, but some people criticize, you know, weapons and guns and things like that as this and that, you know, the whatever, they make arguments. Well, I tell you what I just read recently, this is per the major media, the 3rd biggest cause of deaths in the United States, the 3rd. I figure number 1 is either cancer or heart attacks, and number 2 is the first 2 got to be cancer and heart attacks. It's got to be heart disease and cancer. The 3rd biggest cause of deaths in the United States is medical mistakes. Mistakes, getting wrong prescriptions, doing wrong operations. 3rd biggest cause of deaths in the United States. So, you know, for some people freaking arguing against weapons, I like this because actually nothing really beats the 50 BMG for, like, you know, the ultimate power. I mean, for practice, it's not like it's you know, a hard to find cartridge. That's the other thing. So I'll figure, well, we'll see what happens. So I had to get that bipod though. I figured that's a definite must-have must-have accessory. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you're holding this in your hand like this, you got it up here on your shoulder, you know, how are you going to hold that? Either you're going to have to rest it on bags, or, and I'm not going to be carrying bags with them. I'm just rather have the bipod. And the bipod does fold out of the way, so it's not really bad. Eventually, there probably will be a scope on this, but probably the initial shots with this is going to be about 100 yards. So I don't care about putting a scope on it. And I could bore sight. I think I did bore sight this, as a matter of fact, already with these. It's already been bore sighted, so it's going to be pretty much on. Great weapon. You know, it's got the same. What I like too, and this is another reason I like the AR platform. Like, of course, your magazine release on this side. This has the nickel boron parts are silver. It kind of looks okay. You know, I'm not really giving a shit about getting GQ with the weapons, but it look alright with the little silver button on here and shit. But it's like, well, first off, this magazine release doesn't work for the 50. This is for the. You don't need to install this actually, but I just installed it anyway. It's for the magazine release for the AR platform. Now you can't install the bolt catch. You can see it right up there. This is right here, right there. That can't be installed. You can't install the buffer spring in a buffer and a little detente that stops the buffer spring. And you also have to install a different spring and hammer and take out the little disconnect for the trigger too. So it's like when you make this, when you change this upper around for this thing, even though like you could put the magazine, the bolt catch back in. It's easy to put the buffer spring and stuff back in, but then you got to unscrew the tube to put the little catch, the buffer tube catch in there. You'd have to change out the hammer. And to tell you the truth, this hammer with that spring, that super strong spring, it was a pain in the ass to get it in there, man. It was. I was like, damn, man. But these magazines, they come out like this. You got a little flip thing here, and you turn it. You see, like this. And let me just do this with one hand, maybe. Yeah, there it is. And it comes out. It's got a little. I don't know if you can see it in there. It's a little catch. You can barely see it in the camera. See the little catch? So when that's straight, and then it catches right in there. That's your magazine. They hold 5 rounds. It's definitely not going to be a fast-firing weapon, that's for sure. It's pretty cool because, God, there isn't any game you couldn't take with this damn thing. But the other thing I like too is, if you're really familiar with the AR platform, you realize, and this is where I figure this weapon is more safe. I know, like when I'm holding this weapon, I can feel the safety is on. The safety's on. So if I wanted to go safety off, I could do that, right? I know it's there. It's like, well, let's say you never even own a rifle. If you have a bunch of rifles that are all AR platforms and different calibers, if you know one, you know all of them. It's kind of like a revolver. If you know one, you know all of them. That's what's cool about the AR platform, the Armorlight platform. And I feel like the weapon's much safer that way with me. Because I'm not, when I pick it up, I automatically know that's the safety's on. I know it. It's not up here. It's not by the trigger or anything like that where, it's got to be, I'm looking for it or something. I know it's right here when I pick it up. That's, so that's the other thing. I don't want to be screwing around and learning different, it's like getting used to it. Because when you're trained and you learn, whatever you want to use that fancy, I'm not, well, actually, to tell you the truth, I did spend a lot of time with this freaking weapon, not the 50, but the AR platform, civilian and in the military. And I practiced on a civilian, and I got very good with, I helped in the military greatly. So, like, you could have the 6.5 Grendel in this platform, the 6.8 SPC special purpose cartridge, the 300 Blackout. I like the 300 Blackout now because it's more practical, but the Grendel has actually got a definite edge, stronger than that, but for more practicality, the Blackout's good. This is not such a practical weapon, but we'll see. We'll see. Thinking, I don't want to get a 300 Weatherby Magnum or some bullshit. This thing might turn out to be cheaper to shoot if I reload it. So, I also want to show you the hammer. I'm going to break this down, show you the hammer in there, what the hammer is. I showed it on another video, but, if somebody's looking around for the other video, I'll show you what the hammer change is in there. Okay, so that's the hammer. It's got like twice the mass as the stock hammer that's in the AR platform. The spring is much heavier. you definitely don't want to fire this hammer against the receiver. I mean, it's fired against the firing pin. I don't think there's a problem, but you don't want to do that against the receiver. That would probably hurt your receiver. I don't think these receivers break, though. If you said they don't, this is a MIL-SPEC 775 aluminum. It's forged. It's not. It should be all right. It's the strongest regular kind it should be. You can see here the bipod is folded back, and if you want to take the bipod off, there's a little pin here. You can pull this out. Pull it out, and this whole thing just comes off, and you just got the mount right here. So you can take the bipod off really easy, but I don't think you really would. It's pretty damn light compared to the rest of the rifle, and you can more or less use it like a handle pretty much too, if you're not going to use it as the bipod. Again, these are the flip down sights. And they tuck out of the way, so not bad, not bad. But we'll see, man. Once I get to shooting this thing, I might really love the hell out of it. You know, kind of got it as more of a novelty than anything. And if I wanted something bigger than 30-06, I said, what the hell? Why not go this way? I just don't have to relearn something again. I mean, I'm all familiar with this type of weapon because it's an AR platform. That's the beauty of it. And it might not be too bad, actually, when I get that airsoft recoil pad on there. I'm not sure how I'm going to hook it up yet. Might slip over past this, what do you call it, the sling, and you know, this other part of the sling, I don't know where I put it. Maybe could maybe go up here somehow. I'm not sure. Or maybe I might take this off and you know, just slide it right over that. But being that this is the A1 stock and it's 5/8 of an inch shorter, this is going to add. It's a 5/8 of an inch shorter than the A2 stock. The airsoft butt plate is an inch. So overall, that's only going to add 3/8 of an inch length to an A2 stock, which, you know, an A2 stock is fine. I like the A1 stock for getting up in the shoulder really fast if you have a heavy coat, but you're not going to get this up in your shoulder really fast anyway, so having a little extra length and pull might be okay, especially if you don't want to get no scope bite with this thing, that's for sure. But yeah, it's this to me is definitely a must-have accessory because this thing is pretty heavy up front. It's like you're not going to be firing this thing offhand. Not for long anyway. It's pretty much from the prone position or from a bench.